Yeah, I'm doing good too. It was a little short delay. We're working hard to meet. Statewide board president, in accordance with the provision of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6, PL 1975 C 231 F1, amendment in 2006, C70 as shown. That the Court of Education has provided adequate notice of this meeting by sending notice of time, date, location, and the technology, the agenda of the meeting to the active press, the new poster on January 8th via email. Council has also been placed at the new station building open. District schools, and the Department School Building, and the Department Police Department, and filed with the City of Clerk on January 8th. Mission statement. And the Clerk School District will provide all students with a comprehensive and progressive education where everyone possesses the skills and character to succeed and in the first evolving global society. Roll call.
Ms. Clark? Here. Ms. Langston? Here. Ms. Ozinski? Dr. Marsu? Dr. Tanner? Here. Ms. Riggs? Here. Mr. Rogers? Here. Mr. Willow? Here. Mr. Thomas?
Here. Flag salute. To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We're going to start with the presentations next.
All right, this time, we're going to call a building principal to recognize their students and staff and months to serve in the high school. Student is here, representing Mr. Green.
I'd like to recognize our student of the month first. This student, I'm going to read out the recommendation by one of her teachers, Jessica Daniels. She's a member of the Dream 10 cohort and has worked so hard every day on every single assignment she has ever done. She's devoted to her academics in ways I don't see very often. She is determined to earn and work hard for good grades and higher levels of learning, and has done so ever since I met her last year. Shania Williams is one of the kindest, most loving students in Asbury Park. She spends lunch daily getting help from her math teachers and her science teachers, all prior to ever eating her lunch. This young lady once told me that she's never received an honor like this before, and she can't believe it. Ms. Daniels gives her a recommendation of highest honors. Shania Williams is our student of the month here at the high school. She's her teacher last year. She's a part of the cheerleading squad. She also partakes in any school events or any school spirit week. She does everything. She'll be wearing the ugly sweater one day to dressing up like a normal superhero. Our teacher of the month, Mr. Correa, PE teacher at Asbury Park High School, is an exceptional professional whose dedication to our students, our school community sets him apart. Like many of our outstanding educators, Mr. Correa has continuously demonstrated his commitment to the success and well-being of our students. However, what has truly earned him the honor of being recognized as Staff Member of the Month for December is his willingness to go above and beyond his regular duties. Correa has played a pivotal role in organizing school-wide events and celebrations, with most recently a highly successful battle of the classes. His efforts brought energy, excitement, and unity to our school community. Mr. Correa is reliable, thoughtful, and always ready to get the work done no matter the obstacle. His contributions have made him an invaluable asset to Asbury Park High School, and through his involvement, our school has grown stronger and more vibrant. We look forward to Mr. Correa's continued contributions and know that with his dedication to education, teachers like him, our students will have a meaningful and memorable experience as well. Coach Correa is also our boys varsity basketball coach. We're at a game tonight. He's also our boys soccer coach and involved with the baseball team. He's a new father and was unable to make it tonight. So we'll make sure that Coach Correa hears everything again.
Now, we call Montgomery.
For our student of the month, it's a young lady that has shown promise, progress, grit, perseverance, carries herself with all types of values and morals that we expect our young scholars to have. I am delighted to honor today Ariana. Like, please come up and our next person is our student athlete of the month. This young man carries himself, once again, with a lot of pride, but pride in a positive way. I met him earlier in the year. He was walking around the building with his wrestling equipment on, and had his headgear attached to his book bag, and I had the pleasure to go to several wrestling matches this year just to see technically sound, was not afraid to take on new challenges, and most importantly, shows the necessary sportsmanship to be successful in the sport of wrestling. Without any further ado, we would like to honor this evening Nathan Inglis. Come on up. Take this, and we got Dunkin' Donuts gift certificates as well as some prizes in the back. All right, thank you very much.
I'm gonna figure it out. You wait.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
What I like is we put together Google Forms and send it out to the staff early, and staff has a chance to vote on the staff member of the month. And this, for this month, this particular staff member, even though he's not here this evening, he definitely is as born and raised in Asbury Park. He takes a lot of pride into interacting with our students each and every day. Positive interactions, the first person they see when they walk in the door is this gentleman He carries himself with dignity, grace, and always has a smile on his face. So our staff member of the month is Mr. Graves. We just hope that we live there.
Now, it's all Dr. Schultz. Ready, okay.
Before we start with our student of the month, Mrs. Murphy, would you mind coming up to provide translation support? Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Schultz, the principal of the Bradley Elementary School, and tonight for our student of the month, we are delighted and honored to introduce a third grade student whose smile truly, and this is not an understatement, lights up any room she walks into. Her teacher, Miss Andrews, describes her as a child who is excelling academically, is so kind to her peers, is always willing to lend a helping hand in the classroom, and works very, very hard each day to do her best. We met with her earlier today. She wants to be a police officer when she grows up, and her favorite color is sky blue, which is fitting because it's one of our district's colors. So we would like to join tonight by mom and younger sister, invite Miss Nadia Marino Montoya up, and Ms. Murphy is going to translate. Yes, yes. You should be proud, Mom. Very wonderful lady. And Mrs. Murphy, please stay put. Yes, she does it all. A Wonder Woman. It is my distinct honor to introduce the Bradley Elementary School Staff Member of the Month. I have had the privilege of working with Mrs. Murphy from when I was a classroom teacher here in Asbury and through my entire time as a principal here. It is a legitimate truth when I say she is nominated every month for every year that I have been principal and in my fourth year. She is someone who the staff describes as dependable, relatable, goes out of her way to make staff and families feel comfortable when she is interpreting and translating, always makes herself accessible for staff that need any type of support. I know that I can ask her to do anything at any time, and she is on it. Truly, truly, as I said, a Wonder Woman, someone that Bradley would be lost without. Years ago, she had the nickname of Mama Murphy, and that is so true. Joined tonight by her husband. Please come up, Mr. Murphy. Mrs. Murphy, we love you. We adore you.
Mr. Murphy,
Today was very rich day at Thurman Marshall Elementary School, and I am representing. Good evening, members of the community. I would like to recognize an amazing student at Thurman Marshall. His name is Kenny Thomas, aka AJ. If you can come up, please, with his family. I just want to say a few words written by AJ's teacher. AJ struggled with adjustment to kindergarten. He He had trouble with fine motor skills such as holding a pencil and would cry often. Well, 4 months into the school year, he has grown so much. He now participates in all activities without being asked to. He holds the lessons correctly and even asks questions instead of crying. He has made so much growth in such little time. We are so proud of him. So today's student of the month, it's to celebrate growth. Sometimes it's not always about straight A's. It's about growth. And so I'm so proud of you for being able to grow so much in such a short time. Congratulations. So when we get back in January, we'll be invited to our ice cream Sunday party, okay? We have ice cream. Miss Johnson, if you can actually point the pictures and jerseys, I appreciate it.
And say one more. One, two.
Before acknowledging the teacher of the month, I'd like to call up Jackie Billhauer to help me. And also prove that today really was a great day. Our teacher of the month could not be here today. She actually owns a baking business, and we are in the middle of baking season.
Yes.
And she had a very, very big order that she had to fulfill tonight. But I wanted to call Ms. Billhauer to say a couple words about Ms. Burns. I'll start with, just like Mr. Moncourt said, we send out a moving board. We allow the colleagues, their colleagues to recognize and nominate who they feel earns the title of staff member of the month. And they have to give us a reason why, not just the name on a piece of paper, but why do you think this person deserves that nomination? And here are just a few words of what her staff members feel about her. Sandy is always ready to step up and lend a hand in a time of need. She's the go-to for problem solving. Sandy pitches in with wherever and whenever to help all students and colleagues alike. She's a true definition of a team player. We are lucky to have Ms. Burns here at Thurgood Marshall Elementary School.
Sandy could not be here to be here, but I could not miss coming up and saying something, because Sandy Burns is a jack. She's been in the district for a long time as a blue teacher. If it's not for Sandy, some of the things I see would never, ever, ever happen. She never complains. I hug her all the time. She does not like my hug. She doesn't like hugging, but I have to do with her. But she's just the strongest woman, great team that takes a team to get this department where it needs to be. We had to change classrooms from room to room. Sandy did behind the scenes, the initiative, and she just jumped right in. If it was not for her, some of the things would never ever happen. So thank you, Sandy. I hope you're listening, and we're continuing to do an amazing mom.
At this time, we would like to recognize one of our board members. We would like to thank them. We'd like to bring them up and show our appreciation. board, so, I'm gonna thank you, I appreciate your hard work and dedication to our students.
Speak up, Kenneth.
The first 9 years that I was on the board, I felt stuck. But this last one was a junior. I just want to thank all the community members as well as my board members for all the love and support that they gave me this last year. I worked with some wonderful people, and I just want to thank you guys. We haven't made all the changes, or we haven't gotten to where we want to, but with the little changes, I think it's all possible. I just want to thank you guys, the community, as well as my board members, for just support. And I'm very grateful. Thank you for giving me that. Talk me off the edge.
All right, Kevin.
Mr. President, I just wanted to make an announcement for folks. Some of you may know, but there was a fire that displaced 12 families over at Fire Gardens on December 18th. And a lot of kids were displaced, some of them that come to Asbury schools. So the city of Asbury Park and United Fellowship Baptist Church, Manna Food Pantry, is collecting new and gently used clothing, toiletries, gift cards, monetary donations to support the 12 families that were displaced. Donations can be dropped off at City Hall or at the Asbury Firehouse. And T. Gates over at the firehouse said that the kids' ages for clothing, stuff like that, and toys, the ages are 1, 3, 6, 8, 13, and 14. And we wish the best to those families and those kids during this holiday season. So,
Okay. I'm going to change it up a little bit. The superintendent gave my has a lot of important things to speak to you guys about. They're going to do a little presentation. We're going to start with Vino as far as he has some words.
All right, so this is actually really nice. This is pretty long. So we're talking about what's going on in our building, some of the great things that people don't see and determine what they believe is going on. So real quick, early childhood, there are 245 students enrolled in our pre-K program, which includes both providers. Of the 245, there are 161 in-district students at PES as of December. In 2024 last year, there was 241 enrolled and 143 in our buildings. This is an increase of 18 students from last year, and another 4 students in our out-of-district providers. So the numbers have increased, and I believe that they're going to increase throughout the years. That is the building blocks of this school district. Academics, using the University of Florida Literacy or UFly initiative, students with little or no English are beginning to spell words and using the coding skills learned from this extensive program from pre-K through 2. That hasn't happened in many years. Just for all students, but that is happening, and those are facts and truths. Our pre-K reading specialists are working with our pre-K students to identify them for a kindergarten readiness program. The early childhood department holds pop-up play dates at the Asbury Park Library every Saturday from 11 to 12 o'clock, where students and parents can enjoy the love of reading. Take your notes. Ms. Flower and her team are fostering the early childhood gaming library connection with weekly field trips and monthly registration events, which will kick off at the AP Library starting in January. I see people taking notes, slow down. Make sure you write this fast. Thank you. The school, along with the special services supervisors, are working on new screening tools for incoming preschoolers to identify students in need of early intervention, which has never happened before. The school has created a performing arts preschool program. Students are rehearsing from the full musical Wiki after school to prepare for the end of the year performance. They will learn dances, songs, and movements that are age appropriate. The performance will be in May. The early childhood department will schedule an open house for parents for end of year celebrations. Parents will be invited to explore all pre-K classes each month and learn what their children are working on. The early childhood department created a sensory room to help students explore and learn the best way for them. Third Marshall, even though early childhood is in Third Marshall, but Third Marshall. The implementation of the U-Fly foundations to help support TMS early literacy initiative. Every student has been screened using a core farm screen to identify gaps in knowledge. The implementation of informal learning walks and to gauge student learning engagement, data collected is used to support teachers in the use of enhancing their pedagogical understanding of best practices. Weekly common planning periods and PLCs are conducted to drive collaboration, targeted selection of instruction, and response strategies. The purpose of books for students to take home, to add, or to create their own libraries. Family events to bridge the connection between home and school, such as, like I said, pop-up play days, pop-up library days, trunk or treat, various parades, game events, sweepings, dessert day, winter concert with the dance, Pole Express night, where they came out and watched the movie, and heavily attended parent-teacher conferences. Last week, I received a video from a parent of a student who was in kindergarten that was waiting fluently and couldn't do that this past September. So we all moving forward. Rightly, we got teaching and learning going on. Successful formation and implementation of the IMT instructional leadership team. It's composed of teachers, leaders who volunteer to be on the committee. Training is scheduled with our consultant for January. We're doing a data dive of NJSLA release items with the help of Mr. Nunez. Teachers mapping release items into the math units to drive instruction. NJSLA release items with Ms. Kim Taylor, ELA, do the same thing. They're looking at items that were released and creating their lessons and designing them to create success in the classroom. Participation in NWU continuous improvement, collaboration for ELA performance, math performance, needs-based common planning periods held weekly with all teachers. School-wide focus on test performance. School-wide writing initiative. Completed various learning walks with the consultants and IoT. Implemented and completed student council programs for students. How a successful book fair used SIA funds to have students purchase books to create home libraries. Middle school, student attendance in middle school is at 93%. I can't remember the last time it was that high. There are 4 students with perfect attendance. There are 16 students, 7th and 8th grade, that are on high honor roll. There are 25 8th graders that are on honor roll and 37 graders on honor roll. There is 100% completion rate, and this is the first. 100% completion rate on our iReady and limited testing, which will help teachers gauge where students need help leading into our state testing. The middle school is programming the double school-wide summer presentation on mental health for 7th and 8th grade. They implemented a successful Yonder curriculum, which is a collection of their cell phones. Students do not carry their cell phones throughout the building. They're in a pouch so they can't use them until the end of the day. Good job, Mr. Montgomery. They're starting to gear up program to a workout for 25 7th and 8th grade students. They have a boys and girls club tutor for 5 days a week. They have scheduled a learning spot tutoring program that meets 40 minutes a day during their scheduled period to help students with math. School-wide meeting 7th January will be focusing on classroom instruction and design. And we'll has 12 clubs that meet 30 minutes a day. These clubs are the Robotics Club, Bird Club, Weight Exercise Group, Esports Game Club, Art Club, Music Club, Group Counseling, PE Club, board game club. Each club is open to all students and based on student choice. In November, they launched the TPSIS program, and Teach Rock is being, in full swing, is being taught during homeroom every day. High school, revitalization and reinvestment of the arts. Collaborating with professionals and organizations to bolster access to opportunities for our students around theater, visual arts, with Asbury Theater Company, River, Cal Casey, Asbury Arts Council, and Mon County Arts. Specialized workshops for professionals in the field, you have field trips, and you get as represented most recent APN3 Yes Mine. Comprehensive word initiatives support SEL and academic achievement. Full block testing for NJ, GPA, and 12th grade students. We had 25 more students passing, which just adds to the record-breaking GPA passing rate. That is 25 less alternative pathways. We're going to graduate the wrong way. We'll be on the requirements. Perfect attendance for fall and there's no makeups, which is the first time. So we take the testing seriously for the first time. But that knows. APHS is now offering the ICR status class, which will not only expose our Spanish students to another language, but also reduce the number of exemptions reported to the state for our special ed population. The WIN issue addressing and tackling the following: efficiency and attendance, graduation rate, efficiency, achievement, academic enrichment, SEL, tutoring, test prep, building student interest, measuring teacher stimulation, contributing to APHS approach to student ability to self-advocate. Revised pathways program to help support presentation students as well as academically at-risk students. This is a real program as opposed to what was in the past. Esports, partnering with the Garden State GSE to bolster our computer science book. We have a great program. Recent new Grade 10 has the highest average overall compared to previous grade cohorts in English, 121, their first college level class. Grade math and trans entrance scores highest in critical history, putting down high school students with 3 students scoring over 80. Passing is 30. Sports football team had been beat active this year. It's the Friendsgiving game. Boys soccer team, yes. Boys soccer increased sports participation from 17 students to 54 students this year. Created a JV program for the first time in over 12 years. Thank you, Mr. Nunez. Girls soccer for the third varsity victory. Congratulations, girls soccer. After school clubs, they had film for library clubs. Partnered with the APAC to gain access to professionals in the field. The partnership is also been supported through consultation with APAC for program outline offerings. And special ed department, special service department. Over the last several years, we inherited corrective action plans because things were not being done properly. Well, those corrective action plans have been addressed, and the district is no longer cited. First time. Creation of approved K-2 and middle school emotional regulation parent classes. Asbury Park students are replaced 2 middle schools and anticipate 4 at Thurgood Marshall Elementary School. We don't have to be up for tuition. We currently, actually yesterday, it's been publicized by Randy Flom, from the County Department of Education, is letting this out, letting all schools know that we have this program. Therefore, we can receive tuition students, first time ever. And with our students no longer have to go out of district, they can stay here with their families. So those are great things that have been happening in this district that people don't see and don't hear about. And now I need to make a statement before we move forward. Over the next 6 months, Asbury Park is facing another year of financial struggle. I have been notified during a sit-down, face-to-face meeting with Dr. Les Richards, the county superintendent, that we faced, at the time, he said 12 million, but as I said to this gentleman on the right, $13 million deficit. Dr. Richards has now directed the state farm to look at the selling as many properties as possible, some of which could be vital to our operations. This is a struggle we have to face, and we faced in the past, and we'll fight for this district. I have asked the Commissioner of Education several times to meet with me and my board leadership, and he has failed to give me an audience. Dr. Richards wrote to come to the board meeting. I sent out an invitation, and he replied he was unable to attend to direct all your questions and concerns to the gentleman on my right, the state minor, which is unfair because he doesn't know what was told to me. His choice not to come is very, very upsetting. Face it. Moving forward, we need to be prepared to fight. I believe in this district. I believe in the students, and I believe in this community. This is my home for the last 42 years. I do not take this situation lightly, and we will all come together to make it work. That means moving away from the ugly politics and the self-serving falsehoods and narratives. And for once, at one voice, or work together. We are not here to like each other, but we are here for our community. Let's start acting like it. Thank you.
All right.
Excuse me, Mr. President, I'd like to say a few words. I'm going to hold this to our finance committee on the reports. I spent 2 long days down in Trenton during the state legislative hearings. Most people know I'm down in Trenton quite a bit, but these are education come down there for education. I sat there and we talked about the formulas, the budget formulas for these districts. Many districts who are going through the same struggles that we're going through, the massive amount of millions of dollars that are sometimes misspent or uncategorically directed for resources that they're supposed to be. Sitting there at those meetings, I had a chance to talk to some of the leadership and agencies, not leadership of the Commissioner of Education, which I saw no one there, which I would expect the state commission to be a legislative hearing that dealt with some of the most egregious issues that are going on in these districts throughout the state, but it wasn't. As I sat there and I go through the issues that go in that we have to deal with here, I really become angry because, as Captain Vito just said, superintendent, we have narratives and falsehoods that a lot of people present which incorrectly affect what goes on in these school districts. This is the first time I sat at this table in a long time where we have not had ranker come up to the podium, people telling us the things that weren't getting done. We're now getting stuff that are being done. If people were going to these buildings, if people would spend time, she left, but I went to the Thurgood Marshall on the Thanksgiving holiday, and we had the most amount of parents show up to fellowship with each other and the kids that I've ever seen. They actually had to restrict people from coming in. If we need to do that every day to get this district back, we need to do it, but we also need to get people who are sitting there, who come in with these disruptive manners to disarm and give incorrect information. And let me tell you something, I'm not going to tolerate it. I will stand up to any inaccurate information, because anybody who knows me, I only deal with facts. Facts and figures are the only things that we have to do. And most important is the relationship of making sure that these kids have equal and the advantages that every school district that can afford to have great or higher issues, money to pay for their students. These kids deserve just as much as anybody else. And I'm here to make sure that if I have to fight the state, I'll fight the state. I'll fight anybody else that doesn't want to see these kids get the best education possible. So, I concur with some of the things that Acting has put forth. I congratulate on the things that we accomplished. We have a lot more to do, but we have some great students. And right now, like I said, I take this very serious. I don't sit in the legislative hearing for 4 hours for nothing. And I don't stand to let any state government official tell me something that's incorrect and not being correct. So what we need to do is make sure if we want to keep this district satisfied to the way it should be, we need to work together. And like I said, I'm not going to tolerate any inaccurate information anymore. I will point it out in a minute. I sit down with these numbers more than anybody else, and I do it not as a hobby, because I just do it. And I think people need to really sit down and find out what's going on the state level, the local level, and the county level, and make objective opinions off facts. So thank you.
All right, Mr. Dodd.
I just want to say one thing. I'm pleased with the fact that the festival has come out with increase in enrollment atmosphere, and the fact that our children don't have to go out as much for other services. Good job to get some of these. Let's keep that incremental changes going. So now we got the state monitor's report.
Normally I do not have a report, but tonight I have a lengthy one. I met with 2 assistant commissioners, county superintendent, county business administrator, and discussed the $12 to $13 million deficit for the 25-26 school year. As of today, there is not going to be any advances on state aid other than loans. We were told that districts have to solve the problems on their own. I'm glad the new board members here also, so they can hear this, so they don't forget into January. So there's some possible solutions to this problem. None of them are good. As Mr. Giardino alluded to, sale of buildings. On the agenda tonight is a recommendation to start the process to sell the parent center and also get an appraisal for the Obama School and the lot next to it. Another solution is to enter the send-receive relationships with other school districts for some or all of the students. The third is to look at alternatives to have private insurers as opposed to the state health benefits plan for the health insurance for the staff. This would not increase the coverage, but hopefully to get the same coverage at reduced cost. And there was a 16-18% rate increase this year for the state health benefits plan, and probably the same amount for 2026. Bring back out-of-district special education students into the district programs. Market the district to decrease charter school enrollments. Look at a traditional schedule as opposed to a block schedule at the high school. In the area of transportation, currently all transportation is handled by NOVES. We do a 5% surcharge. And right now we have an employee who is trained to become a certified transportation administrator. And if the district can bring transportation back and put it out the bid on their own and only enter into agreements with NOVES, when there are routes available that can be shared. Also, by doing this, I think there would be more incentive because it would be the district employee to combine routes and to save and to reduce routes. There's other things that could be done if the legislation allowed it to be done. Right now, next year, the school district is limited to a 2% tax increase. The school district is still below the local fair share for taxes. If the legislation would allow, the district could exceed the 2% limit to go up to the local fair share. Allow added school districts to increase class size. Some school districts do when their funding shortages. Right now, K-5 is limited to 21 students, 6-8, 23, 9, 12, 24. In many other districts, these enrollments are increased because what happens is we can have 4 classes in the teens, but we're not allowed to reduce a teacher because it would mean one class would be above 21. And right now, that's the maximum. Another idea would be how charter schools are funded. The charter school is funded based on the cost of the student in the current school year. If a district needs to cut $10 million, $12 million, $13 million from its budget, the charter schools still get full funding in the next school year. If legislation were passed, the charter schools would share in the reduction, not just the folks, not just the students in the Asbury Park School District. Those are some ideas right now. There may be others, and I don't even know if that will achieve all the reduction required for this deficit that will be coming next school year. So that is my report for tonight, and I'm here to answer any questions that you may have.
Mr. Muhammad, I have a question. Like, if we did everything that you were supposed to know, let's say half of it, wouldn't you just kick the can down the road a little bit?
The sale of the building definitely would be kicking the can down the road. That's a definite.
So what is the plan to sustain the planning protocol?
I think right now, the state is looking at solving 1 year at a time. There has to be a long-term solution, and I don't have the answer, and I don't feel I have to have an answer either.
This is tough.
Yes.
Great.
Concerns. I have some concerns, so whoever can answer it. I know previously we discussed selling of the maintenance building and the magnesium building, but I guess that's changed. And if I understood the report, it says that the county commissioner of education wanted us to get the place on the Barack Obama School. Now, my question is, before we were told previously that we had to go to the school development authority. Have we done that? And if we do sell those buildings, there's no guarantee that we're going to reach a substantial financial benefit from the sale of those buildings. And adding on to that, we discussed the property between the two schools, Barack Obama and the middle school was supposed to be for tennis court. And we came to an agreement with Aaron, I think it was the last name, Aaron Williams, and he was supposed to start preparing those fields for our kids to play tennis. So when did that change? And why did it change? Give me some clarity on the part that the school development authority will be playing in some of those buildings, and why aren't we including the maintenance building now?
Okay. So we've got appraisals for the maintenance building, the tech center, and the parent center. The parent center is the only building at the moment that could be sold without any issues. The tech center, we have to get an appraisal, but we also need to know how much it would cost to move everything, all the trunk lines out of the tech center into another building. So that cost will be determined yet. In the buildings and grounds, we're building, there's environmental issues. We don't know yet how much, and we were advised we should clean up the issues before it's sold, because the school district owns them. So we don't, even though it's an appraisal amount, that's the amount assuming that everything's clean. So that's why that's on hold, but it's not, yet it's not off the table. The new building brought onto the table is the Barack Obama building and the land where the tennis courts are proposed. And again, we were wanting an appraisal for that, and we need, and it's a known issue that there's a encapsulated in asbestos on the walls of the entire school. You have your white layer of plaster and brown plaster underneath it, and that brown plaster contains asbestos. There's also asbestos tiles in every room and in the hallways in the school. So that would subtract from any value of that, the appraisal of that building. In fact, when the appraisal is done, I want them to put in there what a cleanup would cost. Because even if they demolish the building, they still have to clean it before they demolish it. So they can clean it up if they want to reuse it, or tear it down and start from scratch. So none of these sales of the building is a complete answer to this issue. And once we get these numbers, then the board can make a decision on what they want to do. And I know Mr. Urbino, the superintendent, has a lot of ideas for the Obama building. And I told him, wait till we know what the value is, then bring up all your reasons why we should be selling it.
Yeah. So the property between that, where the tennis courts go, that's actually Barack Obama property. So it sells with the building. It's not separate, called tax assessment. Mr. Tax assessment told us today that the property belongs to Barack Obama. Therefore, it's markedly sound.
Unless we separate the parcel, donated from the building.
So there's a separate parcel that will be sold as two parcels, or combined, you know, that can be worked out.
Correct.
If the board decides to sell that. One piece of, yeah, that's a small piece of it, there's a school district got $1 million SBA grant. So the facilities committee should start working on how to spend that money for the next school year.
I'm sorry. My continuing question is, what do we do now that I guess we're no longer in negotiation with the tennis initiative? So is that agreement dead?
And that's a legal issue that has to be decided with the attorneys.
Okay. And then my very last thing is the board is being authorized to start the process for the sale of the Dorothy A. Elementary Family Center. So if somebody explain to me what that process looks like.
That's going to be discussed as legal advice in the session tonight, prior to the vote.
Mr. President, I have a few comments. Following on the state moderation report. I've been here a long time in Asbury Park on the board, and during the last number of years, we've known we've had significant deficit going into year after year after year after year. And we've known that the fair share tax can't be done on that. And I was understanding we got to the max right now. Apparently we haven't. As students started over 6 years ago, solving the district's problems on their own. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate the DOE and all the legislators for treating this problem. We're not the only district. We're Comes River, Fremont Regional, Central, North, South of us, all of New Jersey. Their solution is study buildings. Well, that's great. That's not a solution. Sending kids out of district, that's not a solution either. Thank you, the state of New Jersey, for approving extra charter school enrollment. That was, they created that. They created this, S2 created this. They're abandoning all these school districts. They don't care. You know, having a hearing yesterday and this month, that is way too late. Everybody knew this was a problem. Wait until you get elected and then address it. That doesn't help anybody. Doesn't help our students, doesn't help our staff, because people are losing jobs. It doesn't help the taxpayers in this community who have a unique situation with less than half of us actually paying full tax. No one cares about that. This is not a problem that we created. This is a problem that they created. But now it's up to us to solve it. I'd like to say some colorful words, but I'm in a public meeting and a public session, I'm elected official. But instead of that, I'll just say, thank you very much for creating a problem you can't fix. And you put it on us.
I also want to let a quick note, next year we owe the charter school $11.5 million. That's the $12 million in the whole yard right there.
Just a question. In comments to the report for the state monitor, is correct. And the legislature is only needing to deal with this problem year by year. We're in this, we're also involved in discussions with the legislators on things that we feel that need to be addressed with our district. So we are in those talks. Senator Powell has promised that bills will be presented in January that will try to address a lot of issues or statement that issues that we should have been dealing with. Like I said, Mr. Chapman is right. This legislature body is not fully willing to rehab for the whole state, but I think we have legitimate rights, issues, or things that we need to address with our state commissioner, with our county commissioner, and things that we can work with to start to struggle this problem together. So that's why I said when erroneous information is spread, please come to the source of this board and ask before you run around making comments. But we are, like I said, at these hearings, the senator and we as a board are putting our input into some of these bills that are going to be presented in January. His promise is to present these bills so we don't have to wait till April or May to try to sum up and get money for us and redirect things. But I will say, we have been in this problem. This problem was not created yesterday. It was created years ago. This has been seen quite a bit of time, but all hands are on deck. And that means I think people need to come out to the legislative hearings to voice their concerns on issues that are going to represent their taxes. But I hope most reference to making the full federal official position. So be prepared to look at these bills that are coming out. I don't know how we can look to let people know when these bills are coming out or some of the things that are going to address. So we can look at financial wise of the district. But I think everyone needs to be involved in understanding what this problem is. And it is a money problem. Any other comments? Okay. With that being said, we're going to move to committee reports. We're going to start in finance.
So what we talked about in the finance committee is a lot of what we've heard tonight. Continues to struggle with the charter schools. We discussed the enrollment, the ASA reports, the charter school submitted enrollment reports, and as we had expected, when we went through our own budget process, the charter schools were overstating their expected enrollment for this school year. And that has come to bear in the December reports that were released. But again, as Acting Superintendent Trevino says, this $12 million that we are short is what we are paying out to the charter schools. And again, we look to the Department of Education and ask why in the world would you have ever approved 3 charter schools in 1 square mile. We could take all of those 600 students back into this district and clear up our budget deficit. I will say that our state senator, Gopal, has been talking with us and helping us through some of this process. This is in sharp contrast to the total lack of communication and disrespect that both the Commissioner of Education and the County Superintendent have shown us in their continued refusal to meet with us. We've asked the County Commissioner to attend this board meeting so he can talk to the board and speak directly to the challenges that we face and what the county's and state's expectations are for this district, and he continues to refuse. It is very difficult to work our way out of these problems when the people that control purse strings refuse to speak with you. That's my report.
Thank you. Well, and we follow up on the charter school issue. In those hearings, 2 of the things that a lot of people don't know. Right now, we're an elected board here, and we have to go by governance and guidelines that are approved by the state. The money that we, or the taxpayers' money that we submit to these charter schools are not regulated. The people who make the decisions, the trustees, are not elected. They're appointed. So massive discussions on the charter situation, like I said, are going to be addressed in legislation coming out that we are paying them, and where we have to oblige to oversight, these charter schools do not. So their oversight on what they pay their administrators, how they spend their money, your money, is not even being addressed. And people come to this board and scream at us, but don't understand what's going on with the operation of money that we're transporting out of this district to charter schools. So let's make this clear. Like I said, let's put some information out there. We're elected, and we have to go by oversight. We have a state monitor. They do not. They can pay a CEO almost $600,000 of your money, but we become held responsible. So let's throw some darts where they should be thrown. Let's look at what the expectation, and there's another thing. Their test scores are just as abysmal as ours. Where we're focusing to change, who's giving them the oversight to make sure that they're
As I understand it, our state senator Winston don't have to move forward with legislation coming this January that a charter school will have a governing board. That's one of the things that we should create, and they talk about. So pretty soon we will have an executive board.
Yeah, just to clarify with Mr. Robinson, it's actually $750,000 plus benefits that the CEO makes of that particular charter school. I also want to just point out that the Charter School Act has not been reformed since 1997. So just the fact that, I mean, Barbara's right, the hearings have come a little late in the game, but any kind of correspondence, any kind of advocacy that